Thank you for tuning in to another edition of the AARP Foundation Experience Corps in your community. My name is O.S. Owen, and I am your host, and I am your volunteer recruiter for the AARP Foundation Experience Corps. Today in our studios, we have a very, very special guest. We have Gerri Norrington, the founder, CEO, and president of Single Black Seniors Network. Gerri, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a while. Now, for our listening audience, Gerri is one of our community collaborators, and we've been doing some things, and she's just a wonderful, wonderful collaborator, and I wanted to bring her on the show to expose her to all of you. Gerri, first of all, Single Black Seniors Network. Tell us about it. How did it get started? What was the impetus for starting it?
Well, about 3.5 years ago, a couple of girlfriends and myself were sitting around talking about, hey, we don't have someone as a companion, and we were trying to think of ways that could happen. Mm-hmm. I had seen a documentary at Rush Medical Center talking about seniors in Syracuse, New York, and these were Caucasians, and they did a documentary on speed dating. And
the old speed dating.
And it was very interesting to observe that and to see how they did it. And they interviewed people before and after the speed dating to talk about those that might have hooked up and started dating.
That's quite an experience, I would imagine.
Yeah, I'm sure. I haven't experienced it yet, but I'm sure it is. So the girlfriends and I said, well, why don't we have a speed dating event so we could meet some guys? And when I started looking into what it would take to have an event, because I wanted to keep funds separate from my personal funds.
Yes.
I wanted to accept credit cards and all of that.
That's right, no commingling.
No commingling. It made sense that in order to do it, I needed to start a business. And that was not something I was unfamiliar with.
And being the business person that you are, I mean, based on your history, you've had several businesses and you ran very large Fortune 500 companies.
Well, I don't know about Fortune 500, but I have run some corporations. And as a business coach, I have coached a lot of businesses. So I decided...
You're going to coach yourself.
And start a business. And I wanted the name to be descriptive of exactly who we were and what we were looking for, Single Black Seniors Network. So I did.
And that was 3 years ago.
3.5. Yes.
Can you give us a story? I know you've got a counting load of stories, but can you give us a story as a result from the Single Black Seniors Network? Something or someone that worked, that was successful, that encouraged you to continue to do this and say, hey, this is not a waste of time.
The first thing I wanted to do was to put together a speed dating event, because that's why I started it in the first place.
What is speed dating?
Speed dating is an opportunity, and let me just emphasize that it is different for seniors and probably different for black seniors than it is for millennials. Because typically millennials are the ones that go to speed dating. And they interact with the opposite sex for 3 to 5 minutes.
Well, that's that.
And move from table to table to be
that's
able...
That's that texting conversation. That's what the millennials do, right? They text hi, bye, and okay, date's over, right?
With seniors, I learned that we have to have a little longer amount of time, because it takes us a while to sit, and we can't have 25 people that we will interact with. So I limit it to 10 people, and I have it up to 8 minutes, the interaction.
Oh, so up to 8 minutes.
Right.
I'm thinking speed dating, we start at 8 minutes.
Well, I make sure that at 8 minutes we start to rotate.
Okay.
And we have a social hour so that after all of the rotations have been completed, there's a social hour. If there was someone in particular that they liked, they would be able to sit down and talk to them a little more. They could dance. There's always food.
So the purpose of speed dating is to get a brief introduction of an individual to see if there's an interest and to speak further.
And to determine commonalities between them. Now,
in 8 minutes.
yeah.
Does that work?
I give them a cheat sheet so that they know you don't talk about, well, my back was hurting and I had knee surgery. And you talk about what kinds of things do you like to do? What kinds of foods do you like to eat? What kind of interesting places have you been lately? You want to find out what the individual likes to do.
So is it like the Bachelorette?
Not by a long
Not by a long
shot.
shot. I'm just being facetious there, okay?
We've had some beautiful stories that have come out of speed dating. In the 3.5 years, we've done 8 speed dating events, and they are very popular with the women. It's very difficult and challenging to get the men now to participate.
Why do you think that is?
I think black men and their egos tell them they don't need somebody to help them find a
Or
companion.
meet? Well, it's more of a social organization. I mean, we talked about this, before the show that, isolation is huge. It kills us. And when the spouse
does.
transitions and the children move
does.
away and you lose the ability to drive, you find yourself isolated.
Absolutely
So I would think
isolated.
that, and it happens more so with men than it does with women. If you don't
Well-
belong to a fraternity or sorority, you find yourself alone. So I would think that men would jump at the opportunity to come out and meet someone and not have to actually buy them dinner in order to get to know them.
I think because there are so many more women than men feel they don't have to go looking. All they have to do is be who they are and where they are, then the women will be all over them. And in some instances, that's the case.
Okay.
But a real interesting story, networkers from the very beginning in the organization, 2 in particular, they had known each other because they would go to stepping lessons on a weekly basis.
Stepping is very popular amongst this
Absolutely.
group. Yes.
Absolutely. So they'd go to stepping lessons, and as a part of the group, they would go to lunch afterwards, and just as a part of the group. So they participated in the very first speed dating event that I hosted. And this was the first opportunity for them face to face to sit down and talk about themselves.
But that was challenging.
And-
Were you in a restaurant, a club, or a
No,
facility?
we had a nice venue. I won't mention the name, but
Okay.
it was a nice venue, and it's structured. I set it up so that there's privacy and quiet and soft music in the background. But they decided that they would start to see each other individually as opposed to in the group.
Okay.
So they had been together for nearly 3 years and had done everything together. They were just a beautiful couple. He had been alone for a long time. She had been alone for a long time. They did road trips. They did some of everything. And unfortunately, he passed on December 15th.
This year?
Right, last 2 months, just before Christmas. So, but she has all these wonderful memories.
Yes.
And
yes.
she said literally he died a happy man because he hadn't put up Christmas decorations in 20 years. They were in storage. She helped him decorate his condo, and she saw his face light up. And his daughter said he was the happiest they had seen him
in years. Relationships have a tendency to do that. Companionship.
Absolutely.
Now, what's the if you can share with our viewing audience what's the oldest participant that you have in your group?
Believe it or not, the oldest participant we've had is 95 years old.
95 years
And
old.
she still danced. She would get out and dance 2 or 3 songs.
What about the
sitting
men?
down.
You have any older gentlemen there?
With the men, I think about 87, 88 was the oldest.
Okay, and it's the youngest?
And we started 60.
60.
So 60 up, and however you can last, you
There you
can
go.
participate.
Well, if you're just tuning in, this is the AARP Foundation Experience Corps in your community. And we're here in the studios with Gerri Norrington, the founder and CEO of Single Black Seniors Networks. And she is one of our notable community collaborators. And for those who are looking for an interesting opportunity to volunteer, with the AARP Foundation Experience Corps, we're constantly looking for individuals that are 50 and over to be tutors and mentors for kindergartners, first graders, second graders, and third graders in the Chicago Public Schools. 2 hours a day, 2 days a week, a Monday and a Wednesday, or a Tuesday and a Thursday. We sure could use your assistance in changing the face of our students in the school, guiding the next generation of readers and our young scholars. And if you're also just tuning in to us, we are here with Gerri Norrington, the CEO and founder of Single Black Senior Network. And if you are a single senior looking for a safe, secure group of like-minded seniors to get to know and socialize with, a group to attend concerts and entertainment events with, a safe environment to interact with the opposite sex for dancing and having fun, regular discussion groups to discuss pertinent topics impacting seniors, including health issues, schedule speed dating events to interact with 10 people of the opposite sex to find a potential companion, and in general to make new friends. We are here with Gerri Norrington. That's your organization. How would they reach you?
They can either visit our website. Our website is Single Black Seniors, and seniors is plural, so singleblackseniorsnetwork.net. And the website will give them all the information they need. They can enjoy our monthly newsletter at that site, or they can give me a call at 312-878-4268.
Excellent. Now, so you've got this group, Single Black Seniors Network. One of the activities is the speed dating. Is that the most popular activity?
Not really.
So what's the most popular activity?
Our socials usually are the most popular, and socials are just parties where we come together. We have a DJ, so we have live music, we have good food, and we party for 3 hours and get to know each other and have a good time.
Well, I've been there, and what I like about it, it's secure, it's safe, it's discreet. You don't have any folks just off the street showing up. Everybody has been screened, if you will.
Yes.
And this is a group of folks that want to meet other people for companionship.
Right.
You know, we talked about isolation. It's not nice to be alone, and we can find ourselves alone. And if you didn't belong to a fraternity or sorority or a good church family, you could end up being alone. And this is a wonderful, wonderful alternative to being alone, is to being with a group of like-minded seniors
For sure.
who are here looking for companionship for the next phase of their life. No. So how do you screen potential members, or what do you call them, members or
Networkers.
networkers? How do you screen your potential
Because
networkers?
we're not a membership. There's no charge to be a part of it. You just register. You
Okay.
fill out the registration form. The registration form asks certain questions. What kinds of things do you like to do? But in terms of the vetting process,
Yes.
I may check to see if there's some social media account, whether it's Facebook or whatever. I may Google a person. But I'm just wanting to make sure that we don't have any predators that
To
want
infiltrate,
to
yeah.
be a part of
Yeah.
it. We have policies in place to make sure that only those that register for our events can actually get into the event itself. So the address is not provided until after the registration happens.
Yes.
So we do everything we can to make sure that the senior feels safe and secure.
Well, what I want to share with our listening audience, that we here at the AARP Foundation Experience Corps have recruited volunteers from the Single Black Senior Network, and they've been just phenomenal. They've just been fantastic, and they go on to do other things as well. So if you're out there, you're a senior, and you're alone, and you're looking for companionship, consider the Single Black Seniors Network as an alternative, as an opportunity to socialize and to meet with people of like mind and of like ideas. Now, let me ask you this now. Is this the only kind of organization of its kind? Is it unique to our community?
As far as I've been able to determine, we are definitely unique. There is no other organization across the United States that I've been able to determine that offers speed dating, that offers the array of services and contact, socialization.
Because you're not an
This
online
is-
group now, because they've got the online this
Oh,
and the
no,
online
no,
that. This is
no.
physical contact, one-on-one
Right.
interaction in a room of other like-minded individuals. It's
I'm
no
glad you
closed doors.
mentioned that.
Well, that's what's
Because
popular.
it is one-on-one.
You know,
People think that we are a dating service. We are not. It is not an online service at all. It is strictly face-to-face.
so let's take another pick again here. If you are a single senior looking for a safe, secure group of like-minded seniors to get to know and to socialize with, a group to attend concerts and entertainment events with, a safe environment to interact with the opposite sex for dancing and having fun, having regular discussion groups to discuss pertinent topics impacting seniors, including health issues, scheduled speed dating events to interact with 10 people of the opposite sex to find a potential companion, and in general, just to make new friends, and to avoid being alone, to have fun, to have good food. I love the food there. The music is great. From time to time, you have special guest singers there.
Yes.
You know, one of my favorites was there, and I was surprised to see her,
Yes.
and I had a swell time. So I'm just very supportive of what you're doing because it makes a difference in our senior community.
And
It's
we
having a huge
appreciate
impact.
the support.
A lot of our folks get caught up and become involved in this online stuff, and the technology is so beyond them that they having issues there. Now, do you have any controversial topics that you discuss or don't discuss in the group? I mean, politics. Everybody wants to talk about
We don't
politics and
talk
religion.
about politics just because it could get too heated, and we don't deal with politics. We don't deal with religion. We talk about topics that are pertinent to seniors in particular. We talk about health issues and how to take care of yourself. For example, the article in the newsletter for this month has to do with volunteering to avoid depression,
Yes.
avoid having to take medication.
Yes.
So how volunteering can really help you
It changes everything, you know.
to feel who you are, to
You know.
feel good about yourself.
Well, that's the reason why
Yes.
we collaborate together. We share the same mission. AARP, we want to fight senior isolation, volunteerism. In fact, in some studies have shown it has reversed some of the symptoms of dementia and Alzheimer's.
That's
It
right.
gives a new
That's
sense of purpose, to being able to serve, to not think about yourself. So hand in hand, we've done some phenomenal things together, and I'm looking forward to doing further. Now here it is. It's 2020, a
Yes.
new decade. Where is the single black senior network 10 years from now?
Well, I'm hoping, and I may not be around, but I'm hoping that we can start to license single black seniors networks all across the country. So that, and I get calls from people all across the country wanting, when are you coming to my area? Is there something like yours in my area? And the answer is no. But we can be in your area, and we want to be there.
So what type of research, have you done about, I guess, the seniors in our community, as far as, aging, growing old? I mean, strategically, we have to age strategically. And that socialization would be one, volunteering would be another. You can't forget that old cod liver oil. I take it every day religiously, and I encourage everyone to. But what other strategies have you identified with your group that can help promote longevity in socialization?
Well, certainly eating healthy and exercising, taking care of yourself that way. But the socialization, having someone in your life, and you don't have to have a companion, just socializing with other like-minded people, whether they are the same sex or the opposite sex or whatever, getting out, going places, doing things.
So just being involved in single black senior network doesn't always end up in a relationship, but it's
No.
socialization with
Right.
opposite sex, the same sex, people like-minded.
Right.
I love some of the activities that you invited me to. I love that little bus trip, through our
Yeah.
community. And you think you know a place until you go through there as a visitor and realize,
Right.
wow, I've lived here 20 years and didn't know the history behind it. So I really like it from that vantage point because it exposes us to things that we've not been exposed to, or the
Right.
things that are right underneath our noses.
Right. Right, absolutely. And research has shown that you will live longer, up to 8 years longer, if you are active and socialize on a regular basis.
So active. Define active for us?
Well, getting out, not staying in your apartment or home, being able to get out, even if it's getting out, going to a movie or going to the grocery store.
But not shoveling snow active, right?
Not shoveling
Not cutting
snow.
grass active.
No, no. But getting out and enjoying yourself and interacting with people and laughing. Laughing is key.
Oh, laughing is.
Absolute medicine.
So now you're looking at branching out.
Yes.
So where's your first destination from Chicago?
I'm still trying to figure that out, but I figure the metropolitan areas may not be the best. Probably right outside of metropolitan areas are best because the metropolitan areas have a lot going on for seniors to participate in. So we want to try and target those areas where there may not be as many activities that seniors can do. So that
Outside of the cities, outside of the metropolis.
just outside.
Yes. If you're just tuning in, this is the AARP Foundation Experience Corps in your community. We are always looking for folks who are interested in volunteering their time, 2 days a week, 2 hours a day, to be mentors and tutors for kindergartners, first graders, second graders, and third graders in the Chicago Public Schools. If this sounds like you or someone that you know, please give us a call at 312-660-8655. This is one of 28 programs throughout the United States, and we're here in Chicago. We're more than happy to have you. And in the studio with us, we have Gerri Norrington, the president, the CEO, and the founder of Single Black Senior Network. And here's an opportunity for you or one of your loved ones to be engaged more socially in a protected, in a safe, in a warm environment, to be encouraged to live longer, to volunteer with other activities, and just to have fun and have good food and good conversation. Now, Gerri, okay. So, Single Black Senior Network, here it is now. We're 2020, you're looking at to venture out. What can anybody do to assist you? Do you need volunteers? Are you looking for people to help you expand this reach? I want you to look into our camera and talk to our listening audience and tell them what you need. What can they do?
If you know someone in another city that is looking for the same kind of opportunities to socialize, get out, have fun, maybe do speed dating, then you should tell them to be in touch with me. And again, I can be reached at 312-878-4268 or singleblackseniorsnetwork.net. And we are looking for people even locally who are interested in being a part of our organization. We would love to have you. This month we are going to a play at the Goodman and having dinner after the play. So we just like to get out, even if it's just to come together and have lunch or have dinner. We try to do activities during the day so that most of us don't like to be out at night. Many of us don't like to drive at night, and that's fine. We have activities so that you can be home.
And what I really like about the most is that the meeting places are discreet. They're not publicized. They're not told until right before the event. So you never know where they're going to meet. And I can't tell you where we're going to meet because I don't know. Even I find out right before. So we meet at various places throughout the city of Chicago. And I encourage you, if you fit the bill, if you are single and you are looking to continue this wonderful thing that we call life in 2020, having that perfect vision, reach out to the Single Black Senior Network and find your perfect vision. As we go to 2020, 2021, 2022, we have to prepare ourselves mentally, physically, as well as socially and emotionally to go the distance. I'm going to ask you, how are you spending your time? Are you spending your time with people that you are encouraging, motivating to be the best version of themselves? Are you spending your time with people that are encouraging you, motivating you to be the best version of yourself? It is always a pleasure to be here with you. Thank you again for tuning in to another edition of the AARP Foundation in your community. And as always, I have to give out a big shout out to the phenomenal, the wonderful Black Butterfly, our show's producer. We could not do this without him. Thank you again. Until next time, we'll see you in the community.